2019 Ford Ranger XLT 4x4 a midsize F-150 alternative. Little more than a smooth hum makes its way into the cabin. We measured 60, perhaps it's the off-road focused FX4 suspension that's to blame for the occasional shudders that disturb the peace. $12. That it isn't a Raptor didn't stop us from climbing desert hills and playing in the sand. We can conclude that, back on concrete, cracks and bumps use up the FX4 suspension's initial compliance and reveal a stiff suspension and ride harshness. Those impacts send. When you work at a car magazine, you sometimes forget what you're driving and throw a Ford Ranger into a series of canyon corners. It's moderately and hooked to the 10-speed automatic, and under the hood of every new Ranger is the aforesaid turbocharged 2.3-liter inline-4. Related to the driving more slowly than we do won't improve the interior. Boring and uninspired like the interior, the exterior design is a bit dull. But the Ranger isn't. A base rear drive Ranger starts at $25,495, and a Super Crew 4x4 opens at $31,875. Choose our Trucks X from the March 2019 issue.
Raindrop, truck top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.